researching into thriller films, we found that the types of music tends to be parallel and contrapuntal. We decided we wanted our music to have parallel sounds, as we wanted the timing and speed of the music to match the beat of what's on the screen. The use of parallel sound enhances the tension and adds to the climax. The song we decided to go with for our film has many eerie sounds. The sounds also build up, which matches what is on the screen as the murderer has just happened, which adds to the climax. The sound of the music is also emotional and slow, which goes with our film, however then builds up upbeat but still remains tense. After we researched a variety of iconic thriller films including Skyfall, Interception and Seven, we specifically based our music on those three films, as they all created emotion and tension when seen on the screen. For example, we like the music from Seven because of its unnatural and electric feel, which is what we wanted to include in our film because we filmed our film in an eerie and mysterious place. In conclusion, the music we decided to go with in our film runs parallel to what is on the screen, creates suspense, suspicion and tension. We mainly based our setting and location to the film Shutter Island. Shutter Island is based in an isolated, eerie and deserted place with the theme of nature. This is similar to our film, as we filmed our location on an eerie bridge. Filming in our location, which is an isolated bridge, helped add to the tension and suspense to the film. Also, because of the dark, eerie atmosphere at the location, this makes the antagonist appear to be insane, as the audience wonder why he's at this place. Our location for our film was filmed on an isolated bridge in the village Gosfield. In order to get to the bridge, you have to walk through many fields, which is why the bridge is so isolated. This is why we chose our location, as we felt it looked realistic, much like other thriller films, as well as creating tension and suspense. Prior to our filming, we experimented with many different types of camera shots, which we displayed on our blog. We researched and got our inspiration from iconic thriller films Reservoir Dogs and Goodfellas in order to find the iconic camera shots, which will make our film look creative and interesting. For example, when we were inspired by a shot in Reservoir Dogs where we pan from the inspector's face to overlook the lake as the inspector's face goes the opposite direction, the shot from Reverse Dog features Mr. Bond cutting off a victim's ear. In order to conceal the violence in the scene, the camera pans away to the wall, therefore makes the scene more dramatic and as the audience aren't exposed to what's happening on the screen, in turn making them want to know what has happened to the victim. We have featured a shot like this pan away shot. It also increases tension. This shot also helps the transition of scenery run smoothly and efficiently. We have timed this shot so that it blacks out at the climax of the music. Consequently, when the screen turns black, the music also cuts out. As the music cuts out and the shot goes black, the tension will be at its maximum point throughout the entire film. Therefore, this shot is the most important to grasp the audience's attention for the rest of the film. This kind of camera shot is a common occurrence in many thriller films. Cutting out the music after a dramatic shot is also something that with my research I have found is a common convention of a successful thriller film. The characters in our film run with typical conventions of a thriller film. In our film, the antagonist is acted by a young male character, which runs with typical conventions of a thriller film. This character is also a detective, which adds a plot twist into the film. His role as a detective leads to the skills as he has learnt and uses to kill his victims, which isn't so common in a thriller film. Therefore, this element makes our film individual and creative. One film we took inspiration from for this character was Skyfall. The antagonist in Skyfall was once a member of the M16 and uses information he knows from his time on the M16 to work against Bond. and M. Our film is very similar in the respects to this character, and overall the plot twist is only effective when featuring this character. The victim in our thriller film is a female, which is a very typical convention of a thriller film. Using a female character uses gender roles into our film, along with the stereotypical view of women. We took inspiration for the female character from Taken. The victim of the film is Kim, Brian's daughter, stereotypically showing the female character of the film as a damsel in distress, and the male as the iconic hero. This has been adopted into our film so that the film can cause the audience to feel anticipation and empathy for the female victim. This character heightens the suspense overall, along with the power of the males, much like in many iconic thriller films. Our young male protagonist also complies with the typical conventions of a thriller film. For example, in Skyfall, James Bond is an iconic male character, much like in many successful thriller films. James Bond has also been one of the most famous thriller films, so we thought that taking inspiration from one of the films in the collection would help to make our film exciting. James Bond is a secret spy, so we took inspiration from this by having a pair of detectives in our film. The protagonist in our film is the most important character, as he helps to string all of the action together. He adds a sense of formality and seriousness to the film overall. With his authoritative role linking to characters like Brian Mills from Taken and James Bond, overall this character has a huge impact on our film. By introducing the main plot twist, this character creates anticipation, as he is the character that will discover the crime that his partner has committed. The protagonist also has a forensic officer with him when he comes on the scene. Although this character has no dialogue or significant role in the film, we chose to include the character in our film to add to the realism of the film, in turn of making it much more effective.